Hi guys, this week we're talking about pedigrees. Pedigrees are basically a scientific family tree. They're a way to show one specific trait being passed throughout a family. The only difference is that in this family tree, the different shapes and the different lines all mean something. Before we start looking at a pedigree, I want to talk about the two different types of traits that humans might have. The first is an autosomal trait, which means that it's found on the chromosomes number 1 to 22. These are the body chromosomes. And as you know, dominant means that the trait is always shown. Recessive is only shown if the individual has two recessive alleles. For a sex-linked trait, these are found on the 23rd chromosome, which is X if it's female, or X and Y if it's male. Normally, sex-linked traits are found on the X chromosome. In a recessive person, a male can have the recessive trait if the trait is X-linked, if he only has one copy of it, because the Y has no copy of that gene or that trait. Okay, so this is a pedigree. Some of you may have seen something like this before. We're going to be talking about what this image means. So you see that there are 3 different rows in this pedigree. Each row is representing a generation. So if you think about the 3rd generation as the children, the 2nd generation would be the parents, and the 1st generation would be the grandparents. Horizontal lines are showing that 2 individuals are married, and vertical lines are showing descendants or children. So in this one, person number 1 is married to person number 2. Person number 3 is married to person number 4 here. And person 3, 4, and 5 in generation 3 are children of the parents in generation 2 that are person number 3 and number 4. You see when you draw this that the line for the children comes from the marriage between the 2, so it makes a T-shaped line. The line for the children does not ever come down from just one parent, because it takes 2 parents to make a child. The square shapes are representing males or men, and the circles are representing women. So person number 1, generation 1, person 1 is male, and person number 1, 2 is female. Filled in shapes are people who have the trait or the disease, and empty shapes are people who do not have the trait or the disease. Remember that a pedigree would only be used to show a genetic disease being passed, not an infectious disease. So here, person number 36 is a male who has the disease. Person number 26 is a female who does not have the disease or trait. Sometimes you will see half-shaped or half-filled shapes. These are showing heterozygous people, so their genotype might be big R, little r, because they are heterozygous, so they have one recessive allele and one dominant allele. They would show the dominant phenotype. Okay, this is the Canvas assignment for this week to build your own pedigree. You can do this using Google Draw, or you can draw it on paper and take an image. But you're going to make a pedigree for any trait you want. You need to have at least 10 family members in 3 generations. And it needs to have some people who have the trait or the disease and some people who don't. Make sure that you show the heterozygous people as a half-filled box and write the genotypes under the shapes. So remember, the genotype is 2 letters, like we just saw on the heterozygous shapes. Big R, little r would be a genotype. So you can see an example. Here's one that I made. Make sure that you're not doing the exact same one that I did. I chose the trait brown eyes, and so as an example, person number 1 is big B, little b, so she has a half-filled shape, and she would have brown eyes. Down here at the bottom, I made a key that showed what each trait would look like given the pedigree shape. All right, that's it for this time. Don't forget to do your post, and I'll see you next week. Bye.